I killed Nathan Hale. I had no choice. He was becoming one of them. He could have stopped me, but I think he wanted to die. At least that's what I keep telling myself.
Hello there, Sir from 17 once again, introducing you to the second section of Chapter 18 in my Resistance 3 Superhuman difficulty video walkthrough. And this is the second part to Wasteland, and as I've mentioned before, this is probably the longest chapter on the game, because each of the firefights I approach very slowly, very methodically, and they do take a while to succeed, but I could pretty much safely say these are the easiest and, most and safest, for use of a better word, safest strategies against these sections, because this next area is a massive field. There are two buildings. They're like big estate buildings. They're kind of in an L shape, and in the buildings are snipers. And obviously the resistance snipers are invisible, like that silly bastard up there. The only thing that gives them away is the laser sights, and sometimes the best way to get them to give themselves away is to move erratically so that their aimer points at you. Bear in mind, if you cannot put yourself in between cover, they will kill you really quickly. And this section here, I struggled a little bit with it on difficulty. On difficulty, God's sake. I hate on hard. I'm calling it hard. I'm not hard from Boston. I'm not from Boston. I'm calling it hard, sorry. And I had a lot of trouble with this entire place, but because I had so much trouble on that difficulty, it makes sure that the run on Superhuman is a lot smoother, because I ended up doing this first run. And the best thing I found to do here is to move through the building to my right, counter-snipe the guys to your left, and then focus on taking over each of the I don't even know what they're called, the Chimeran headquarter building things that you've got to get in to shut down the force field to carry on the next section. But to do that, we first got to, dance with death as these laser sights paint us up like a bunch of predators out on a party. But the best thing to do is to just keep eking your way out. As soon as you see that wherever they are with the lovely invisible cloak, make sure you shoot them. Even if you don't kill them, you're going to stun them and enable yourself to get that second shot very easily. And there is a lot of them. And right then, I narrowly missed getting a bullet in the brain, so you've just got to be super careful. That time I saw where he was, so now I can just eke my way out and clean him up with the sniper rifle before he can get a shot off on me. That was a headshot, luckily enough. He's now dead. And just keep pushing your way along here. This guy up here, you can grenade really easily. It's a lovely spot. Bounce it off the roof. That means he's dead. And there's just a handful more of them now before you can actually focus on killing the Chimera stations. But as per usual, it's never as easy as it could be, because the checkpoints are funny again, and there's augers. There's a lot of augers, and I hate augers. They are the bane of my existence. If they're not popping up like something out of a Christmas cracker, they're kicking my ass from a distance with their gun that shoots through walls. So what you've got to do once again is you need to shoot the lock on the front of the command station, and you need to take them down with your gun. And one thing that makes me wonder is, have you noticed how there was no vehicle sections in the other Resistance games? In the first game, there was actually quite a lot of vehicle sections, and the vehicle sections weren't half bad. Because I've never been a fan of vehicle sections in first-person shooters. That's why I've never been the biggest fan of Halo, because to me, the vehicle sections are probably better than the shooting sections in Halo, because they seem to dwell on them so much. But on the original Resistance, there was a handful of Jeep sections, a handful of tank sections, and then a Walker section. And I thought they were really fun and really well utilised, and they mixed it up and gave it some diversity, but they never carried it forward on the second one, I don't believe. It's been a while since I've played it, and I can't remember it in honesty. But then there's none in this, which is a bit of a shame, actually, because it could have made it a little bit longer. But there's the auger, there's the secondary fire that turns him into a pizza, and all you want to be doing now is sniping the remnants of the guys that are in there. Just keep tagging them, and as soon as you think it's clear, move forward and move into that command station we've just cleared out. All you have to do is be a little bit tentative, because there could still be some snipers knocking about. You will know, because they'll probably shoot you dead. And when you move into the building, be careful that there's no augers sat on the bottom floor who have not pushed forward, or any other soldiers that might be kicking about, because I do remember on hard, when I first did this bit, when I got to these stations, there were still people inside them. And taking Chimera on at close quarters on Superhuman difficulty is like brushing your teeth with a landmine. You just don't want to do it. But just take your time, use the auger to scan the location to make sure no threats are in the immediate vicinity, and then once you've realised it's clear, you can move in, pick up the ammo, and get ready to take on the opposite command station, because that's exactly what's going to be happening. This is probably the safest vantage point to take on the other one from. Once again, there's going to be a lot of hybrids in there, there's going to be a lot of augers, so it's a case of using your marksman, using your auger, and using your deadeye to just kill as many as you can. But before we can get onto that, we have to take out the power cells. You'll notice I'm checking to make sure I can't see anything. Always prioritise the augers first and hit them with the secondary function. It will kill them so quick, they'll not have a chance to screw you at all. But I didn't get a really smooth run on this section, because when I first played it, I managed to get the auger as he spawned. I saw him turn up, and I hit him with the secondary fire, and I didn't have any problems. But on my recording run, he didn't show up immediately, and I couldn't see him. So right now, I'm kind of like, where the fuck are they? They should have spawned. Something's clearly wrong here. But lo and behold, I think either an auger bullet comes through the wall and slaps me on the face, or I end up just shooting somebody. I can't remember. We'll soon find out. So there we go. That was the spawn. Right then, I missed the spawn. I should have had my rifle on. There he is. His shield's up. Oh, nice. Managed to hit him through the little gap in the shield. That was genius. But he needs to die. Regardless of how clean your shot is, he needs to die. It is that simple. He will fuck you up. But there's a dropship flying in at the back, and I don't know if they're dropping troops off or what, but there is going to be more enemies coming from that command station. I can guarantee you that. And what you have to do is, once you've cleared it out, you need to go up it and you need to press the button that I haven't pressed in this one, because I actually wait to do it. I come back and do it. And it's a mistake, because what ends up happening is when the force field goes down on the actual base we're trying to get inside, well, hey, level 3 Deadeye, I end up being on this side of the arena, and I get screwed by the location, because the first time I played it, I was on the one that I'm shooting into now, and it was a much safer area. But I'll get to that when we get there. And use your auger to make sure there's nobody. Oh, that is a sniper. That is... Dude, move, move! What are you doing? It's a sniper! How did he not kill me? Goodness me, I was stood there for a wet weekend. My gosh. But that is the one sniper that was on the far hand side that I looked at earlier on in the video, but I couldn't hit because of the vantage point. There he is. And if he'd have been, you know, an efficient sniper and not a giant retard, I would be dead. So watch out for him. He caught me off guard. I assumed somebody was just painting my screen out of kindness, apparently. But once you move up here, there'll be a lot of ammo. There's a bunch of the power cores you can destroy. I actually try and melee them, but it doesn't work. And I do apologise if I sound occasionally like I have a cock in my mouth, but my sinuses are playing up for some reason, and every so often a lovely little deluge of mucus runs into the back of my throat, and I feel like I've got a mouthful. It is not a fun feeling. Probably just put some people off the dinner, but I speak the truth, it is not cool. So once you've cleaned everything up, or you think you've cleaned everything up, now you can start activating the buttons. Now I've shot those cores, I have to go into the other command station I was just in, and I have to activate the button. And I should have activated that button over there, and then come over here and shot all those things, because over here is a much better area as far as cover goes for using your auger, because when the force field comes down, a bunch of enemies are going to rush out, a bunch of normal hybrids, and a bunch of the long leg snipers and rocket launcher troops are going to spawn. And they're going to cause some serious havoc, because each of them... Did you see him then? I just saw him land, and I run all the way back into this base. I do apologise, the long legs spawned earlier. So what this now becomes is a sniper fight. So if you enjoy sniper rifles on games, and you love, you know, those little tense shootouts between two snipers, this is the part for you. Because you're going to be taking on a ton of the long legs from a bunch of different vantage points. They've all got sniper rifles, they're all extremely quick on the trigger, and you need to counter-snipe them. So, you know, get your best gloves on, lay down in your ghillie suit, and clean some people up. The fortunate thing about the long legs is they're very predictable. That guy shot me then, the cheeky bastard. He actually hit me from another vantage point. I thought I was in cover and I wasn't. It was my bad. And yeah, I get cheesy on his ass. I pull the auger out and cream him with this. But they do stand still. They're very predictable, and they're not the easiest of targets when they move. But as soon as they stand still, they're an easy headshot, and the headshots will insta-kill them, as I've just displayed. And you can just start chaining headshots, and before you know it, you'll have cleaned them all up. Jobs are... Oh, that was his face. Come on, Resistance, don't lie to me. And once you think you've cleaned them all up, you need to go across there, press the button, and it will lower the force field. And if you're low on life, there is life at the right and the left-hand side of these bunkers. You see where there's all these boxes and things where I'm on now? These areas will have ammunition. They will also have health and various other things. So make sure that you pick them up if you're in need, if you're struggling. Because as soon as we get past this next area, there's another firefight, which is one of the silliest of the game, but it ends on a very specific note, and that explains exactly why it's so damn ridiculous. There's a bit more life. And I just need to press the button now, so that's hopefully what I'm going to be doing. But I have been running around looking for things, and I'm not too sure what I'm looking for. It might have been one of those bits where I thought I had to do something else, but I didn't. So I come back up here and I press the button. So there goes the button press, and lo and behold, the alarm kicks off, the energy field comes down, and the best thing to do here is to either put on your rocket launcher and fire into the group of enemies. Throw a grenade if you want to. Grenades are super useful, or anything else, just anything that's got a good blast radius. You could even use the revolver, because there's going to be a ton of hybrids. There's going to be a ton of the rocket launcher guys who are a massive threat. You need to prioritize those. There's a rocket guy firing at me now with his one-man army on and his fucking scavenger noob tube bullshit. Not scavenger noob tube, one-man army noob tubes. And don't snipe with the bullseye. I'm still trying to get this piece of shit level 3, and I'm trying to snipe with it. And as you can see, the muzzle flash is so bright, the reticle is so yellow and the same colour as the muzzle flash, you cannot see where you're aiming when you start firing. It is the worst design decision for the bullseye yet. The old aimer was fantastic. On Resistance 2, it was awesome. Resistance 1, it was kind of gay, because it was like the old first-person shooter rules where you didn't have iron sights, you kind of just zoomed in a bit. But it was still super useful. It was a fantastic gun, and it was just as accurate from the hip as it was when you aimed. And that is the sign of a really old school shooter, like your Half-Lifes and your Serious Sams and what have you, and your Dooms and things. But just pick off any of the stragglers. Take your time. You don't want to screw up now, even though the checkpoint is really close. I think it's just as you've just hit that button, so you don't really have to worry about cocking up. And once you push forward, you'll be moving on to the last and final section of Chapter 18. So always scan the area with the auger, because you never know who's going to be standing about, like that asshole and his pal and his other pal to my right. But luckily enough, this gun is a beast, and if you've got unlimited ammo and this gun, you'd probably never get shot on this game, because it's just so powerful. It is such a good gun, and it's such a cool idea. There's a little part of me that's kind of sad to know that this could possibly be the last Resistance that Insomniac makes, purely because of the guns they make and how tight this is as a first-person shooter. This is probably one of my favourite first-person shooters for controls and for weapons, because it feels so much better than all the others. This is the end of this section of the level though, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one, and as always, you take care now.